Hi, my name is Braden and I'm an examiner at SGI. In this video, I'm going to show you how to begin your inspection and show you what items to inspect under your hood as part of your daily trip inspection. I'm also going to demonstrate how you can show the examiner that you're inspecting these items correctly by saying out loud each item you are inspecting. The first thing I will do is show the examiner that the vehicle is secure, the engine is off, the vehicle is in park, and the park brake is on. If the vehicle is a standard transmission, you must ensure the park brake is on. This is important as you do not want the vehicle to move or roll while you are inspecting it. Now I will begin my trip inspection with the engine compartment. I will check the fluid levels first. The coolant level should be checked when the engine is cold and shut off. I can see that the fluid level is between the min and max value, which is good. I can see that the washer fluid is at the top of the reservoir, indicating that it is good. The dipstick for the engine oil is here, and this is where I would check the engine oil. The brake fluid level is between the min and max value, which indicates that it is good. On some vehicles, you also need to check the power steering fluid. This vehicle is equipped with an electric power steering system, which means we will not have to check that. I can see that the drive belt is not worn or cracked, and that when I put pressure on it, it has lots of tension. This means that it is good. I am also checking the hoses for poor connections, leaks, or fraying. I can see that these are in good condition. The electrical wiring has no loose connections or bare wires. When I remove the battery cover, I can see that the battery is secure, there is no corrosion or leaks, and the battery cables are connected and secure. Finally, I will look under the vehicle for any fluid leaking, such as coolant or engine oil. I can see that there is no leaking. This is how to inspect the items in the engine compartment. Remember, your engine may be equipped differently than this one, and you will have to adjust your inspection to accommodate for those differences. If you are not sure how to do that, please visit our website at sgi.sk.ca and refer to the Professional Driver's Handbook. If you are still not sure, please text or email.
First, I'm going to turn on the headlight. Hi, my name is Mike and I'm an examiner at SGI. I'm going to continue the trip inspection and inspect the items around the exterior of the vehicle. This inspection is sometimes called a circle check because as I inspect each item, the entire process will take me around the vehicle. First, I'm going to turn on the headlights. Make sure the high beams are on, as well as the hazard lights. And for this vehicle, I need to make sure the key is in the on position for them to work. I'll then start the inspection at the front of the vehicle. I can see that the high beams and the hazard lights are working properly on both sides of the vehicle. Now I'll work my way down the driver's side of the vehicle. We recommend going down the driver's side first so that you can see any vehicles approaching. Typically, you'll do your trip inspection in a parking lot for your own safety, but there may be times that you'll need to do it on the side of the road. First, I'll check to make sure that the side marker light is working. Then I'll inspect the wiper blade to make sure that it's not damaged or cracked. Next, I'll inspect the tire. I can see and feel that the tread depth is adequate and that there's no tread separation. The sidewall doesn't show any sign of cuts or bulges. The rim doesn't look bent or damaged, and there are no cracks. I need to check each individual lug nut to make sure that it doesn't appear loose and to make sure it's not missing. I'm looking for any rust or shiny spots around the bottom of each lug nut to determine if it's loose. When checking your tires for proper inflation, using a tire gauge is best, but for a vehicle with single tires, a visual inspection is sufficient. When looking at the bottom of the tire, you can usually tell if it's properly inflated or not. If there's some bulging or if it looks a bit squished out, the tire could be low. Now I'm going to check the suspension by checking the shock for any leaks and to make sure the spring isn't cracked. If the frame was visible, I would also check for damage or cracks to the frame of the vehicle. The mirror is firmly attached to the vehicle and the driver's side door opens properly. I'm going to check to make sure that the seat is properly bolted to the floor and the driver's side door closes nicely. The driver's side rear door opens smoothly, the seats are secure, and the seat belts latch and unlatch. The door closes nicely. On this tire, I can see and feel that the tread depth is sufficient and there's no tread separation, and on the sidewalls, there are no cuts or bulges. The tire appears to be well inflated. The rim doesn't appear bent or damaged, and there are no cracks. Again, I'm checking each individual lug nut to make sure it's not missing and that it's not loose. Once again, looking for shiny spots or rust at the base of the lug nut to indicate it may be loose. The shock doesn't appear to be leaking, and there's no visible damage to the frame. As we walk around to the back, I can see that both hazard lights and tail lights are working, as well as the license plate lights are working. The wiper blade appears to be in good condition. Next, I check the tailgate to make sure that it's closed properly. While I'm back here, I'll also check for exhaust leaks. The best way to check for an exhaust leak on your vehicle is to get down and look underneath. In the wintertime, you may see exhaust leaking from somewhere it shouldn't be. You wouldn't see that in the summer, but you might see soot around a hole, or any holes along the pipe will indicate there's a problem. If your vehicle's running, you can also listen for signs of an exhaust leak For example, if your vehicle is really loud, you may have a hole in your muffler or tailpipe. As I make my way around the other side of the vehicle, I'm going to make sure that my shock isn't leaking and that there's no damage to the frame. I'll also inspect this tire to make sure that there's adequate tread depth and no tread separation, and that there are no cuts or bulges in the sidewall of the tire. The tire appears to be properly inflated. The rim doesn't look bent or damaged, and there's no cracks. There are no missing lug nuts, and none of them are loose. I don't see any shiny rings or rust rings around them. The rear passenger door opens easily, the seats inside are secure, the seat belts fasten and unfasten, and the door closes nicely. The front passenger door also opens well, the seat is securely bolted, and the seat belt fastens and unfastens. The door closes well. The mirror is securely fastened to the side of the vehicle, and the passenger side wiper blade is not damaged or cracked. I'll also check this tire for adequate tread depth or for tread separation, and check the sidewall to make sure that there are no cuts or bulges. The tire appears to be well inflated. The rim does not look bent or damaged, and there are no cracks. Again, I'm checking every individual lug nut to make sure it's not missing and that it doesn't appear loose. Looking inside the wheel well, I can see that the shock absorber is not leaking and that the spring is not cracked. The frame also isn't damaged. The last thing I'm going to check as part of the first walk around is the marker light near the front of the vehicle. Now I'll make my way over to the driver compartment to turn on the low beams and my left signal light. I'll walk around to the front of the vehicle to make sure that the low beams and the left signal light are working. Those are both good. Now I'll walk down the driver's side of the vehicle to the back to make sure that the left signal light is working. And it is. While I'm going, I'll make sure that I didn't miss anything on the first time around. I'll activate the right signal light and the brake lights. To activate the brake lights, place something heavy on the brake pedal or prop a snow brush between the pedal and the seat. You can also ask your examiner to help you check the brake lights, but if you do that, you'll need to be able to explain to us how you would do that if you didn't have us there to help you. As I make my final walk around the vehicle, I'll head to the back and make sure that my brake lights are working, as well as the one in the rear window. I can also see that the right rear signal light is working. I'll now continue up the passenger side of the vehicle to make sure that the other signal light is working there. I've now completed a full inspection of the exterior of the vehicle. Remember, your vehicle may be equipped differently than this one. You may have to adapt your trip inspection to accommodate the different equipment